Okay, so this is Witch Nikki again with part 2 of my little quest to use whatever scrap materials and recycled items like the cardboard. And then I use some felt. I'm going to cut out other pieces. Let me tell you, cutting this out was harder than cutting out the cardboard. But cutting out this material was much easier. I think because this is kind of thick. And you can kind of see through it, but it's not really that sheer. But I cut out a red piece because I had enough red, white, and blue. Keep those over there. I think I just have like, yeah. So I've already glued this on and I've pressed it. It's still damp. I could feel not really through it. It's not sticky. But what I did was I put a big portion of glue, and then I used a piece of cardboard that I had used from the scraps to spread it out, and then just press that on. So far it's staying. From my experience though, this may or may not work. So that's why I'm only trying one, just to see how it looks. So generally you want to wait until it dries out completely, and that might take a while. Close this back up. I don't like it to get gunky. So then next I cut out a piece of this material that I had there. It's kind of springy and we're going into spring, so I thought this might be nice, cute for a little while. And then what I was thinking about doing is either just putting it up there like that on the other side of the felt piece. The felt will be the bottom. And then what I was thinking about doing, I don't know if I'll be able to show you this, but I have these little wooden heart things. So I know that they have like a little hole in there. I'm not really going to use that hole, but that's okay. The purpose for this is to hold the drinking glass above the surface, so that the wetness is not really going to get in there and soak into the material that has been glued on. That's my plan anyways. So what I'm going to do is circle the little bird, put the bird in the middle, and then just gonna put these on like this. See? What do you think? Maybe going in this direction. I'll just kind of glue one on like this. So they're kind of circling around the little bird. Yes, I could paint these little wooden things, but I was thinking no. You know, if I really wanted to take time on them eventually, and you could use these for, what do you call it, burning? But I'm not going to do that. I don't have anything to really do that with. So, while this is drying and while I'm deciding what else I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how I use the same kind of technique to cut around the felt. But just cutting into it is kind of difficult. See, it's not even cutting at all. So what you have to do is you have to hold it and pull it so it's tight. Now you can hear it cutting into that. See? You're going to get as close to your drawn circle as possible. And not with your fingers. So if you're not experiencing cutting felt, there might even be some kind of scissors that can cut felt better than these. So what I'm doing is just pulling it and cutting, pulling and cutting, holding it very tight. Now I'm going to attempt to cut this little corner off. So I'm holding it so it's tight, so it's very taut. The felt. And I'm going to make those little cuts into it a little bit. I could just cut right across here by holding it, pulling it on both edges. And it's just, I don't think you could see the line on it very well. See that line? That's the part I'm going for right there. And you want to be careful at the same time you don't cut yourself. So it's almost the same kind of technique. Where you're cutting little edges, little you know, just little snips, so that you could go through and just cut them off. It's easier than following the circle. So I'm just snipping right into, up to the line, so that when I cut it, they'll come off easier than going around the corner. And you cut as many of those little grooves or snips as you can till there's no more left. So then you have to hold it. It's working out better than it had before without the little snips. See, the difference between other people's videos and mine, I want to show you the hardships that you could come across. I mean, it's not like I'm doing this on purpose. I just kind of wanted to do something a little quick craft to do this today. So some of this is too small to really use again, but you can use it as stuffing. Pieces of it, you could use it for stuffing. So what I do is I take the teeny little pieces. You can also use these to begin, like if you have a ball of thread, and you can just wrap it around them. But I use it for stuffing sometimes if I'm going to use. You just kind of roll it over and then putting it in the box right there. Okay, so I'm going to scooch over this other stuff right here. Don't know if you'll be able to see me. It's okay, you don't have to see me. I want you to see how I'm doing this. Okay, so, okay. So, try to get it like in the middle. Because you're going to squish it out, smooth it out to the outside part. And the trick with felt, I found, is getting quite a lot of bit of the glue. See, so it's like this. So what you want to do is just kind of, I'm holding it up so you could see. You're just going to spread it. Hold it over whatever working area, like paper or this cardboard makeshift desk. So I don't have an art space yet. Hopefully I will be able to get one here at this house. We're going to be doing the same thing for the little bird cutout too. See? Slathered on there good and thick. And you're just going to take this. It's okay, it's a little bit wonky. And cut off a little snip right there. That's okay. Now, just going to put it right on. And smooth it out. Make sure it's like on there as even as you can. So when you turn it over, it's not lopsided. See? Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like that because, like I said, it does have a tendency to soak right through. But I have a feeling this is going to stick. Now, for this excess part, I might want to take a little, what do you call it? The box cutter that I have and just kind of go around it, or just the scissors. I don't think it's going to work doing it this way. Yeah, well, but I just have to be very careful that you don't squish your felt off of the cardboard. You just want to trim a couple little pieces off. If you do squish it off, then try to just keep it, you know, really close to the cardboard so you're not cutting the cardboard and you're not cutting into the front, the back part, and just trimming off. And you want to hold your fingers down there so it doesn't come off. And you might want to wait until this dries completely. There we go. That's good for now. Smoosh it down. You could even take another piece of the cardboard if you don't want to get your hand dirty. And just kind of smoosh it out like that to make sure it's all straight and that there's a good bond between the felt and the cardboard. Yeah, I could really feel it now. So when you let it dry, you don't want to put this down because it will stick to whatever you put it down on. So I have a few more of these pieces to go. So I have these two, and I need 3 more. I'm gonna pause and I'll come back. Okay, so I just have another. I've spread the glue on. Another piece of felt. And my scraping piece to help press it down. You go from the center area and press it outward. Hold down part of it with your fingers. They may or may not get a little bit gluey, but that's okay. This is school glue. It comes right off. And see, like on this blue one, you can see the glue right through it. See the little like lightish colors? That's okay. That's showing that there's going to be a bond. There's some on the cardboard and it's getting into the fibers of the felt, which is good. It's going to help it stay on. Now, I had a little bit of trouble cutting it off of this edge before. I mean the edge part. You can keep your fingers down there. Try not to get them cut or anything. So you're pressing onto the board as you're cutting the felt. You could wait until it's all dried on. You might have better success. Just really the big chunks of it. And if you don't have felt, that's okay. And you can use material on both sides. Or nothing, just decorate the top part. If you want to, just draw a picture on there, maybe with crayons or something. My videos are not necessarily made for children, but they are children friendly. I'm a grandma, okay? So much stuff going on in the world today. So I just have one more piece. I'm gonna let these kind of dry. Let's see, I started with the red one. Let's see how that's doing. It's still damp. I could feel underneath. I could feel that it's still got some damp spots on it. That's okay. It's gonna get dry. But kid friendly, I try not to use any adult language. I don't talk about anything that is too adult topic-ited. No topics of adult themes. A piece of cardboard, that's okay. So yeah, this cardboard came in another box of something that we recently got. It's like shipping protection cardboard. And so I'm gonna keep a good portion. I really wasn't going to use it to cut it apart, but it's got a good portion of it that I could use for a workspace. So, okay, so one more piece of felt. Press, and then use my presser. Press. Turn. Always from the center. Out. And that's because you don't want to scooch it, off. I'm holding down one part so you don't wind up, flipping the felt somewhere across the room or something. Couple little scraggly ends. Just a little bit. And because another reason to wait, because the glue's still wet and you might, get some glue on the scissors, which is okay. I mean, it's not okay, but what you're gonna do. Now, I didn't have any pieces of, paper towel or anything, so I just used a piece of the scrap because I did it before. And this glue will come off with soap and water, but you want to be very careful, especially if you're a kid. You want to be very careful cleaning off your scissors again so you don't get them all sticky. But if you do get glue on there, you can just peel it right off. It peels off easy, as everybody knows. But just be careful you don't cut yourself. As I'm a grown-up, I've got a little bit more dexterity. So it's not really anything about your age. It's, a smaller child might have trouble because of their dexterity. They haven't develop the muscle skills that they need to have to cut these big pieces. So now what I'm going to do is what I'm going to do is let those dry because we don't want both sides. Now, some of this felt, for whatever reason, had sparkles on it, so I have a little bit of glitter all over. Not a lot, just a little bit. Where's that? Oh, here it is. Right here. Why didn't you tell me? Because you didn't know what I was looking for. And I just want one little bird on there, because they're kind of spaced apart a little bit. So I want to look for a little bird on here, and that this, like towards the edges, because then I could kind of, I don't want to search in the middle and then cut it out. You can find a good little picture of a bird right here towards the end. So what I want to do is just take this, because this is what I used, and I'll just place it right over the little bird there. Use the pin. Oh, I got a little bit of glue on this too. Just going to rub it off with my fingers, and then you rub your fingers together a few times and it just smooches that glue right off. So you hold it down and then you just trace around. So I already have one. This will be 2. See, the birds are already spaced apart, so you can't really get any more than just one good little bird in the center. Then I'm going to move over to the next little bird. And it's okay that these aren't ironed. I'll show you in a little bit. It's not going to make that any kind of difference, because once you glue them on and then you spread them out, they're going to be fine. So this one's kind of close. It'll be okay. Yeah, you can do just about anything you want to with this. You could cut out little pieces of magazines if you have them, little pictures, or a picture of yourself or whatever, and you can paste that onto the cardboard circle. Okay, so I have one for this one. This is so easy to cut out. I'm just gonna, I always try to not cut right over a part of the design if I can help it, because you never know. You could even do a little what do you want to call it, a little collage of different little pictures that you might have. This one has a little, it's felt also, but they're little penguins in the snow, so that looks more wintry. So you might want to cut that out. When it's this kind, you might want to go for just, you know, like cut out a little bit of the flower. And then you could, or you can take a little group like this, and you can just make your own little designs on there too, that you could glue on there. You know, it would be another good pattern, nice and circular, is one of those old DVDs, you know, that they used to use for computers or music. Yeah. So I save a lot of stuff. I'm not a pack rat though. So like even when I'm cutting like this, I just cut right over that bird, trying not to cut into it, because you never know. I've had this material for about 8 years. I made a blanket, a little quilt for my grandson, and he's 9, 8. He's 8. I'm not laughing at his age. I'm laughing at my inability to remember. And just cut right between them. Now, I don't have to do that trick with this. I'll show you why, because it's coming off really easy. It's cutting, and you just cut and turn. Cut and turn. Go to the next space. Cut and turn. As long as you're cutting from the back end, not the teeny tiny, I mean, it still works to do a snip. Yep, it still works, but it works better if you use the inside part of the scissors of the blade, not the tip. But it still works. So there's 1, 2, this is 3. I actually saw some nice little coasters on Etsy, but I just don't have the money to get them right now. So this will work. They weren't that expensive. I just want to budget my money very carefully. Okay, so that's 3. Need to find another bird. This one. Try not to cut into any other birds. There's a couple here, but now if I had a lot more material, I probably would not have saved this much. I probably would have made a little remnant bundle and given some to Goodwill. But I didn't really have too much of it. It was already a remnant when I bought it. A remnant you can buy at any material store or even like Walmart stuff. It's when they cut off a certain amount that one customer's gotten and there's still like a little bit left. Then they bundle it up and they measure it and they bundle it up and they price it to sell. So you can buy little cheap pieces if you want to use a craft for just a little bit of something. I want to cut this off because the rest of this is kind of getting in the way. Zipping across the little birds if I can. Okay. And continue to cut this off. Once again, you can use bits and pieces of this material for other art projects. It makes a really nice little collage type thing. So that's 4. Okay, one more. Let's see. I think this one is a little bit more right there in the middle. This is a regular pen. It's nothing special. You're going to have people tell you, oh, you need a material pen, or it's a cloth material pen, or whatever. Use whatever works. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to buy nothing fancy for this. I didn't buy any, I bought the stuff, but I bought it at another time, saved it, gonna use it for this project. So I'm saying is I didn't, the original project that I used it for is long time done. And I saved it and I finally found a use that I'm going to find to use this for. So there we go. Now, if you want to get all perfecty, you can iron this. I'm not going to, because once you put the glue on it and spread it out, it's going to kind of just straighten out on its own. So I'm going to start, I think, with the red one. It's starting to feel a little bit more drier. Okay. Here's when I put it here, I don't want to press it on. I don't want to press it down and get stuck to that. Okay, so we're going to do the same little thing Not so much glue though. That's a pretty good size, like a size of a quarter. That should be fine. Still got some on here. You can hold it up if you want to, because it'll smoosh around on the tabletop that you have. So you just go into the middle and pull it out, just like we do with everything else. Just pull it, smooth it on, kind of like you're making a peanut butter sandwich or something. All the way to the edge. There we go. And I just want it pretty smooth. And just take this. Doesn't matter which way it goes, but I'm just going to put this on. Just as you make sure, press it down in the middle. And then smooth it out with your fingers on this other little piece of cardboard that I've saved. You want to do this to smooth out all the air pockets, and it smooths it out a lot more. So you're going to see that if you did iron it, fine, good for you. But you know what? You don't need to. I'm going to show you. Do you remember how wrinkly this was? Okay. See? Look at how smooth it is compared to how it was. And how smooth it is. Because it all glues on there really nice. Still kind of sticky. It does come through. But that's okay. Like I said, I want to make sure that it's okay. That it comes through. It's going to stick. There we go. Now, I'm not done yet, so don't worry about it. I have some options of other things that I could do. You could either get a really thin, maybe a ribbon, or one of those kind of flat shoelaces. Or I might do some crocheting, just a little chain and crochet around so you're hiding the little parts of the thing. There's all kinds of little options that you can do. So while this still has some glue coming up right around here, I think I'm going to do, like I said, I'm at 38 minutes. I'm just going to take this and take these little hearts and kind of place them to where they kind of fit right around here. What do you think about that? It's going to give glue to this side and that side and just kind of push it down. You know, another thing you can do is find a pen of some kind that you want to write or draw, maybe a person's name who might be using these. Or you can write things like, I love you, it's a great day, or whatever you can write on here. You don't have to, but you could. If you paint them, I would put some kind of something to cover them up. If you're really artsy, craftsy type person, you can just do whatever you want to cover these and make them. You can spray paint them and cover them with a clear coating or whatever. I just kind of like the woody look to them. Okay, so There we go. And it gives it a little artsy feel to it. And then, I don't think I have any glasses, but I have this. See how the little wood hearts kind of hold it up above the cloth, so the cloth isn't going to get wet, because the condensation from your glasses and stuff might get onto that. But if they're on top of those little wood hearts, I think that would help. So what I like to do is get something kind of heavy and then press them down there like that. But for right now, it's okay. Because I don't really want to press this on top of this and then it'll stick, because this is still kind of dry. I just wanted to kind of get this one done to show you what this will look like. And then I could always crochet a little, what do you call it? Just a chain stitch all the way around, and then glue it all the way around here. Or you could use a little thin ribbon, or like even a shoelace, and just glue it down. Or you know what else you could do? If you have straws, you can take a straw and cut it. That's just Ruby. We have a little doggy house guest today, and he's out there getting all crazy. You could take a straw and cut it into pieces, especially if it's a colorful one. And then you can just glue that all the way around to give it some kind of little trim. Well, we'll find out what I come up with next time. Thanks for being with me. Have a great day, whatever you do. Save a little bit of stuff, but don't go overboard and become a, what do you call it? I hate to say pack rat, but yeah, basically a hoarder. You don't want to do that. All of these things came in a little box that I have, that I put all my little stashes of this and that in there. And you just make stuff. Have a great day.